Okay.
1, 2, 3.
All right. Welcome to the Mommas podcast, where we talk about co-parenting. The good, the bad, the funny, and the sad. I'm Sam. I'm the mom, and today I have Carlos here.
The dad.
The dad. The baby daddy. All right. Do you want to go first with your question? Or are you nervous?
No.
You got it?
We're just going to go.
Well, pretty much what we're going to do is just ask the 3 questions, similar to what me and Maria did. So me and him are going to do one, and then, of course, him and Maria are also going to do one, too. You wrote them down?
I wrote them down. Already.
Oh, man. I don't know why I'm scared now. Okay, You go ahead and ask one, and then I'll ask the next one.
Okay.
We'll take turns. Okay, go for it.
Question number 1.
I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm sorry. Okay, go.
Si quema or no quema ka?
What? What the?
Si quema or no quema ka?
What the hell does that mean?
Si quema ka?
What is that?
Okay, do you want to skip?
Yeah, what is that?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Well, I guess you failed.
And it? Okay.
Anyway.
Go for it. You're an idiot.
What's the best and worst thing about our quote-unquote situation? So that's question number 1 and 2.
1 and 2?
Because I was expecting you
To understand what the hell you were... I didn't even understand. What language was that? Was that Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish.
Oh, I'm really bad. You know
Anyway.
I don't know it. That's fucked up. You
So,
set me up for failure.
Best thing would be question number 1, and the worst thing would be question number 2.
Okay, best and worst thing. I'm gonna go with the worst thing first.
Okay.
I think the worst thing is somewhat of our stubbornness. I feel like if you disagree with me on something, that's where it escalates to a fight. But it's vice versa. I feel like I'm the same way too.
Yeah.
That and sharing her sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty selfish when it comes to her, and I kind of want to just keep her to myself, but I know that's not good. And the best thing is that we actually get along, and I see how she reacts to our friendship,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like she kind of I don't know, I think she feeds off of it too. She sees it and she's it makes her happy in some ways. I know she hates it though, because if she's in trouble, we'll talk to each other about it. I think that's what she hates, but in a way, I don't know. I see how she is, and I see that it does.
But I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like that she knows.
Yeah, that she knows. I even tell her, I'm I'm gonna ask your dad, and she's okay.
I also like that. Her not having to worry about her parents being around each other has ever been a problem.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that have parents that can't stand each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean, we even know a few people that are that, and it's it's horrible, because then you see how the kids are.
Yeah, people have to.
And they hate it.
Walk around it.
On eggshells.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So that's
Okay.
But.
I think though, like I said, I think the bad. I don't see anything bad. Just when we do get into our fights, though, that's where it gets ugly, and I feel that's what I hate about it.
You know what's funny? Because I didn't think about my side, my perspective of it. I was trying to think of a good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly that's probably what I think too. The worst thing is that we're both stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to disagreeing as parents, it's a little hard to convince the other person.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just because
So
that's how we've always been.
So we've always been we've always had to. I don't think anyone has ever been caved in enough to where someone got everything they wanted. When there was a disagreement, there's always all right, like, well, we'll meet in the middle. Somehow,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
I felt like every now and then we did get to that point, but if it was like I was not comfortable with it, or if you weren't comfortable with it, we just didn't understand why, you know? So I think that's where like a lot of the fights that me and you ever had that were like huge and major is because like we weren't communicating with each other and like as to like why we weren't okay with it.
Yeah.
It was just more or less like, no, I'm not okay with it. You know, we didn't explain like either side or like whatever side that we had, you know? So I feel like that was...
It's always been a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of like, you're just making things up in your head, assuming assumptions. You know, you're like, thinking what the other side is doing and thinking. You know, even though it's not even like that.
Yeah.
So you're making these stories up in your head and making things worse than they really are.
Yeah. That was definitely.
But it's all part of communication. You know, like you gotta fucking talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I think, good that, like, even when we've had really big fights, like, we're like, all right, like, we need to sit down and talk about it. You know? Like, because obviously, like, I don't think people understand that when they have a kid, they're going to have to deal with that other person for at least 18 years.
Yeah, at least.
So why wouldn't you want to make things right?
Yeah.
Instead of just fighting each other for 18 years.
Yeah. I think that's where like you and I always agreed on, like we're gonna have to be in each other's lives regardless of like anything because of the fact that we do have Jaden. But I think it's because of the fact that we're both passionate like towards her, and like that's like, you know, especially for me, like that's my baby, you know what I mean? So it's like, I felt like we wouldn't see eye to eye because it's like we both try to control the situation and try to like be more of like, no, this is, you know, like we wouldn't really fully explain it. We just...
I don't think it's that bad though. I mean,
no, I don't think anymore. I think it's gotten a lot better.
I think it's gotten really
really
bad,
good.
You know, but like.
Oh, that's gotten really bad.
It's
it's gotten really ugly.
Pretty bad, ugly levels.
Yeah.
But
it has.
But we've always wanted to fix things.
Yeah.
Instead of like, fuck no, I hate that.
Yeah, like I fucking hate that guy.
I never want to fix things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Luckily, it's never been like that.
I know. I think that's one benefit is that we were always like, no, we need to talk this out. Like, we don't want it. You know, considering like our background and like how we grew up, I think that's what helped us to kind of like, you know, not want to like.
We wanted better for Jaden.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
She was like, because it was already like not good that we're not together, so we need to make everything else right.
Yeah, we didn't make sure that she was at least like had the life that we didn't have, even though she didn't have both parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be good. I think that was good.
And the last question.
Wait, you're asking all three of them right now?
You don't want me to? Or we're going
I'm gonna go. I need to ask you. Okay, so my.
It's gonna take forever.
No, it's not. It actually kind of gravitates to what you were. Okay, so if you had to change one thing about how our relationship started, not started it like when we dated, but like co-parenting.
Since when?
Good, bad, anything.
Since when though?
Since like the moment I found out I was pregnant.
Oh. Okay.
What would you change?
I don't know. I think things have gone better. And I honestly think that it's as good as it's gonna get. You know.
Yeah, but bad too. Like if you had to change one thing that was bad, would you change it?
I mean, what's bad?
There's a few things I think I would change.
The only thing I can't change you. You know.
Well, not me.
The issue is that we disagree.
So
I can't change the way that you think.
Yeah.
So that would be the only thing that I would change. And obviously, I can't change you. It's like I wish I could change Sam's mind up, you know, just so that she would agree with me all the time.
What the fuck? I felt like I agreed with you a lot.
No, you
didn't really agree with me.
You do, and I probably don't.
No, but yeah, I think that was one of my questions. So you wouldn't change anything?
No, I mean, I think I'm pretty optimistic nowadays, anyway. So I always look at like, I'm very grateful at how things are.
Yeah.
And how my life is, and like where I live, and the relationships I have. Like, and I feel bad because I always want more. I always want to make it better, and it's more about myself rather than other people.
Yeah.
Like, I always want to make myself better. I want to be a better dad. I want to be a better worker. I want to make more money. You know, like.
Yeah.
It's never like I want a better wife, or I want better kids, or I want better co-parent. So no, I wouldn't change anything. They're everything, I think, is going very well. At least and from my perspective. And it's going so well that I would do anything to fix any problem that you would have.
Yeah.
Just so it could continue this way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more. Okay. And then you can ask
your
last one.
And
then I only ask you one. You asked 2 questions at one time.
All right.
Okay, let me ask one more, and then you have your last one, and then Okay. Next one. If you were to describe me to anyone about what kind of parent I am, how would you describe it?
No, that's good. I've never thought about this, but it's good.
I'm very curious about that.
And it's never like in a bad way.
Yeah.
I think it's.
I hope not.
I think it's like.
Actually, shitty. No, I'm just kidding.
Protective would probably be my number one.
Yeah.
I would say you're very protective. And what else? Involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Very much.
I would say.
I think I'm too much involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could go over, you know?
Yeah.
You could have too much liquid in the cup, you know?
Yeah.
Too much of a good thing.
I don't know my boundaries with her. I'm still learning, by the way, okay? Like, you know, like having a soon-to-be teen is not fucking easy. It's really hard. I didn't think about, like, how bad that would be.
She changes so much. Like,
yeah.
in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
And she has this fucking wallop.
Yeah. She reminds me of you in that sense, though. A lot.
And I mean, I'm sure, like, she'll realize one day, like, oh, fuck, my parents are just like me, you know?
Yeah.
But right now we suck, and, like, we don't understand.
I feel like with her, because she's very similar to you and she's much like you, I know how to talk to her.
Yeah.
Because
you could get things out of her.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I can get it out of her because, like, I dealt with it.
I'm like, come on, are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about it?
Yeah. And with me,
like,
no. I'm like, no. I know something's wrong. I can see it in your face. Yeah, like.
You get it out of her.
I know how to get it out of her. I do. And even she's like, I don't want to talk about it right now, but okay. And I'm like,
yeah.
And I always try and explain to her. I was like, it's good to do that. And she's like, I don't know why I am the way that I am. And I always like try and tell her, I was like, you are the way you are because it's just who you are. You know, I was like, your dad was very much like that when we were, you know, your age. I was like that too at one point, except I couldn't talk to anybody, you know. And I always told her, I was like, you're lucky because you have your dad and I where we want to know what's going on.
It's just
she's just very stubborn.
You know what she tells me? When we ask her every time, like, how she's doing, how she feels?
Yeah.
I'm depressed.
She tells you that?
I'm depressed.
Does she say it with a smile, though?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I just don't
you.
Believe her. And I mean...
I don't believe her either. Yeah. I always try...
You're just bored.
Yeah, that's what I tell her, too.
She's just not in her room all day.
Yeah. I always ask her, I was like, okay, why are you depressed? I don't know.
She literally has no reason.
No. I mean, if she is. Okay, but we're doing things to, like, fix that. But then when you ask her, she'll, like, look at me, she's like, I'm just depressed, and she'll be laughing.
I just feel like she thinks it's a cool thing.
Yeah, and it's like, no. And I try to always explain it to her.
She's not a very sad kid.
No, she's actually very happy.
She's very silly.
She's very silly, but she's also very protective too. I've noticed. Like, at least with me, I think it's just because it's me, but she is very much, like, protective.
No, she's protective over anyone she hurt.
Yeah. But I feel like with me, she's, like, very much, like, more, because it's only me. Like, she tried even, like, telling my mom shit about, like, when my mom got me upset one night.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I was like, no, Jaden, you don't do that. That's my mom.
I've never imagined that.
I never thought she would ever have the balls to do that. And she was like, Bama, you made my mom cry. Why is she crying? I was like, Jaden, no. Like, that's my mom. You don't talk to her like that.
I mean, she told Patrick, why did he have a problem with my dad?
Oh.
Like, in front of everyone.
I forgot Mary to tell me that.
Like, damn.
Yeah, like, it's like, you're proud in a way, but at the same time, you're like, no. That's disrespectful. You don't do that, you know? Like you don't do that. Like they're an adult. Like, don't do that.
You're making me look.
Yeah, I'm like, girl, you're a product of your environment. Remember that.
Okay, my last question.
Okay, and then I'll ask you mine.
If you could go back and change anything, what would it be? I feel like this is kind of the same shit.
That's literally what I just asked you.
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Yeah. As much as I hate to say it, I probably, although I do like how everything turned out, and I do like where we're at now, but I've had that question in my head like numerous times even prior to this, like what would I would have changed. I probably wouldn't have tried to involve you in her life as much as I did. Yeah. Like, that would be one thing. Although, like I said, I don't regret how it panned out now, because it's a lot better than what it used to be. But during that time where, and you know what time I'm talking about, where it was just like very hard for me to actually like keep a straight face, try to be strong. You know, I wish I would have just went with what everybody else was telling me and just kept you away.
Yeah.
Because it was the hardest time in my life during that. Like, it was very, very difficult. It was very depressing, you know, but I kept saying I'm doing it for her, which, you know, I'm glad that I did, but in ways I hated that I had to go through that.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it kind of tainted everything else for me. Like, I couldn't really enjoy a lot of the things I should have enjoyed. Because I had to, like, put up with so much shit during that time. But at the same time, like I said, like, it's the way it is now. I mean, if I had to go through that to get to where we're at now, then I'm glad that I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You ready for my last one?
I don't know if things would have ended up the same if that would have happened. But I understand.
I
understand how you feel.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Yeah. It was very, very hard. It was very, very, very difficult, very hard. I couldn't even, like, have, like, a conversation without it, like, turning into a fight. Or if I had, like, a disagreement on you on something, it always turned into, like, something very fucking stupid and petty that you would, like, say or do.
Yeah.
You know? Because, like, whenever, like, me and you did fight over dumb shit, like, we always try to, like, just hurt each other. It wasn't even about, like, the fight. It was just, like, okay, how can I hurt him more than he's hurt me kind of shit.
Yeah.
And I know it was, like, the same way with you. Like, how can I hurt her because she fucking pissed me off.
Yeah.
You know, so I felt like during that time, like, there was no easy way for me to, like, try and talk to you, because I knew it was going to be, like, a big thing. So I just, like, stood quiet a lot during that time. Or I tried to. Even though I wasn't that quiet, but that was me being quiet. If that makes sense. Because it was very difficult. It was not the easiest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty ugly.
I know. That was, like, the ugly part.
Yeah. Yeah. During that, it was pretty ugly. Okay. You ready for my last one?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Do you really consider me as one of your best friends?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to ask you a little bit more.
I don't have any friends. I don't have time to hang out with friends. You're like, you come over here and hang out, and I'm like, all right, I guess she's a friend, you know.
A friend? I'm not your bestie.
I don't know about that.
We're not besties. I'm gonna tell Maria.
Oh.
She told me we're not besties. We're not besties.
That's just weird to say.
Better than fucking saying that we fight like siblings.
I don't know.
Even though that is true, we do kind of fight like that. But yeah, do you really consider me as like one of your closest friends though?
Yeah.
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 He could do better. I'm just kidding.
I told Maria, I'm like, I've told this to Maria before that, like, right now, you're one of the few people that knows exactly who I am, basically.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, no one knows me enough to say that they know. I mean, not a lot of people know me enough to say that they know who I am.
They actually know who you are. Yeah.
I just don't talk to that many people, you know?
Yeah.
Even online, anywhere, you know? Like,
yeah. Do you think that kind of like helps us out though, like co-parenting wise, like, because of the fact that like I know you so well?
I think so. Because I think that if you know me, you know that, like, if I disagree with something, it's not just to be a jerk about it or because I'm like trying to get something that I want, you know?
Yeah.
So. And the same toward you, like, I could tell, like, if you disagree with something.
Like there's more to it than just saying like
legit.
no.
It's not like you just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then, but sometimes you do. Sometimes you just have a stupid feeling, and I'm like, Sam, you're just having a stupid feeling. You know?
Depending on what it is, okay, it's not always a stupid feeling. But I get what you're like.
You just don't like that person because it's so and so, you know.
But I usually have good reasoning. It may not be a good reason to some people, but to me, it's like it's a reason that I feel like a certain way toward. You know what I mean? Like you kind of got to give me a little bit more credit than that. Like she doesn't like her shoes. She hates her for no reason. Like no, like yeah. Usually people always have to give me like a really legit reason why I hate them or not like them or anything like that. It's not just because I don't, you know.
Yeah.
I'm in the mood to not like that person at that moment. Give a little bit more credit. But yeah, I think I could definitely say, yeah, you're probably like one of the very few people that actually know. And especially too because of the fact that like prior to Jaden, like how long we were together and like how young we were, I felt like since we kind of grew up with each other, like we saw like a lot of ugly from like both sides, and like we had to like mature in certain areas a lot quicker than what we intended to, and then after having her, I think a lot of it just like I think it pushed us both to try and be a better person for her. So I felt like maybe that kind of helped us out too, even though like it was kind of difficult during that time. I felt like it kind of did help us like see the bigger picture, and it was Jaden. Yeah. So I definitely, although you do like to push my buttons though sometimes.
Yeah.
Vice versa though. Like every now and then. Not all the time.
Dumb.
You're dumb. You like to fucking pick fights with me. I hate it. But yeah. So, any more questions? Do you have any other ones that you can think of?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
I have one.
Oh
more.
My God.
I have one more. Do you regret not fighting anymore?
No.
No?
No regrets.
No regrets? No regrets. Live with no regrets, guys. No regrets.
You know why?
Why?
Because I have this conversation in my head every time I go running. Because you try to think of whatever you could think of besides the, like, oh, I'm tired, I gotta stop.
Yeah, like you have to distract yourself from like...
Yeah, so I think of everything. But I never got into fighting because I wanted to be the best fighter. Like I didn't want to beat everyone up. I got into fighting because I wanted to prove to myself that I could fight, you know, like, and I could defend myself.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't that, like, I was trying to be better at it than everyone else. It was just, like, I just wanted to be okay, you know, like, I just wanted to be able to protect myself. And I just so happened to, like, get into fighting by accident, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the reason why I didn't really go back to it, because I just didn't really have a reason to. And I had all this other stuff going on. So, the last time I went was great because I got to go to Cuba and I got to take one like last shot to see if like, all right, maybe it is something that I could do, you know, for a living.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen, so I got to enjoy Cuba, and I got to decide, like, all right, well, like, this isn't something I'm gonna waste any more time on.
Yeah.
But like, I still like it.
Yeah. Like you still like watching it.
I still like watching it. I
Yeah,
still like
it is fun.
practicing it. I still like the feeling that I could defend myself. So
that was always the question that I've always like wondered. And that was like one of the main ones that I wanted to ask you, but I was like, I don't know if that's like a sensitive or sore subject because of like where you were at that time. You know what I mean?
And I recently caught myself, because I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I'm a forgetful person, but like when I'm sad or something, and I think you rethink everything in your life.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was having one of those moments, and like I just caught myself laughing because I'm like, if I compare myself to everyone that I looked up to at that time in fighting, and I compare my life to whatever they could possibly be going on, whatever they like fighting relating they could have been doing. Like, if I would have kept doing it, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my life is way, like, I would have chosen the life I have now.
Like, if it were, like...
all the time, you know? Like, because no one, no offense to those guys, but no one really made it, basically, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they, maybe a couple guys got in the UFC, but, like, like, it wasn't, like,
not where they could have potentially been.
It wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
To sacrifice all that time, knowing that there was limitations, and knowing that there's only a few people that are gonna make it, and knowing me, at least for me, knowing that I got into it not because I wanted to be the best or whatever. I just got into it because I wanted to be able to defend myself.
Yeah.
For the martial arts of it, for the self-defense of it.
Yeah.
And so having that mindset, like, yeah, like I feel like my life is way better, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I would choose my life any day. With all these kids.
All them cheering.
Fucking waking me up all early. I don't like it's hard. It's like no life is easy. But it's so fulfilling. And knowing that like how much these kids love me. Yeah. And like knowing the potential and how their life is probably gonna be like. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you have everything that you would have asked for.
I would have not. Yeah. I'm a rich man. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a rich man.
I like that. So. That's good. All right. So that pretty much is all done with the questions with me and Carlos, of course. So thank you for doing this, though. I appreciate it. Yeah. Even though you're like coming at me with Spanish questions, and
that reminds me before.
Never mind, one more.
Before we stop here.
What?
I gotta show you exactly what the fuck I was talking about with the Kemaka.
Wait, I've never.
The Kemaka. This guy right here. Look, I mean, not this guy, but it's the. It's the cuz, you know? An Edgar?
Why is that so familiar?
When I ask you, see gamma or no gamma cut, do you burn or do you not burn cut? You suck.
Horrible. All right. Thank you.